pretty exciting video, I hope, for you guys. Basically what we're doing here is a restoration on a semi-vintage Remington 870 TC. As you can see, it's pretty well worn. We also have some issues over here where a repair had been made at one point. That's shown through the finish. We've got some rust here I'll show you guys in some close-ups. But overall, a good candidate for a restoration, or a good candidate for, a mild redo. And basically what we're going to do today is go ahead and get this metal degreased, clean, sandblasted. And I want to show you guys what I do for pitting, rust, and kind of repairs here for uneven metal. So we'll get started here pretty quick, and then we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up and get it going. The kind of the goal is, by the time we're done, is have every imperfection, or reasonably every imperfection, taken care of before we actually coat the firearm. So with that said, I'll get you guys a couple close-ups, show you kind of where the issue points are, and we'll stop in a couple times throughout the process and hopefully give you guys an idea of the simplest and kind of easiest way to deal with metal repair, and then we'll go from there. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Everything cleaned and degreased. Now we're going to degrease one more time with this Duracoat True Strip. That's kind of the key to this whole thing. When you think you're done degreasing and cleaning, do it twice more. Any kind of stuff in here is going to cause issues when you go to coat it, as well as potentially we're going to blast these in the sandblasting cabinet. It will also contaminate your media and affect more projects down the road. So that's kind of the biggest thing here, is to clean, 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 clean again, clean again. And that's about it. So at this point, I'm just going to do a quick wipe down before we go into the cabinet. Folks, well, we're back. We've degreased several times, cleaned and sandblasted. This is with a 70 grit abrasive and aluminum oxide, which is a little bit harsh for what we're doing right now, but you just run your air pressure a little bit lower and stay a little bit away from it. I'll get some close-ups, as you can see, but got rid of all the little rust spots. A bunch of the imperfections have kind of gone away. So we're actually in a position where we can probably go ahead and use our coatings. So just to show you guys, we're actually going to Duracoat this shotgun. Duracoat is a product that works really well for applications like this. Been using Duracoat for a long time to do this. But the product we're going to use today is actually Durafil, which I guess, for lack of a better way to explain it, acts almost like a primer, like a buildable primer that you can spray on imperfections, level the surface, and you can sand down, and it's a great substrate for Duracoat as well. But this stuff works really, really, really well to fill in scratches, little goobers, things like that. It really does an excellent job. To save my cameras, I won't take you guys out there when I'm spraying it, but I'll come back and show you once we get the Duracoat on before we put color. But really what that'll do, for a situation like this, it'll actually fill that in enough that we can smooth that surface, and you can lay it in thicker where you need it and lighter where you don't. So it's a really good product for this, really good for doing minor metal work without having to file, fill, and smooth for a coating. So that's really the gist of the video, but with that, I will sign you guys off for a couple minutes, and we'll go ahead and get this tightened up and get the Durafil put on there, and I'll show you the final product. Alright folks, well, there you have it. We've got the single pass of Durafil down, so you can see how it looks much kind of like a primer. As you can see, one of the repairs on the receiver is completely gone. This front one was a little bit more difficult to kind of get taken care of. You can still see a little bit of differentiation there, but that's really about as good as I think I can get it without just going too thick with the Durafil. You know, the receiver's slightly bent from it, and the repair is kind of out from the receiver, so it makes it a little bit difficult to fix perfectly. But I think once we get the color on there, you won't really notice as much. But it gives you an idea of what the Durafil can do. If you guys notice from the close-ups, you know, there was all sorts of light pitting on this receiver. And now we've got a pretty smooth finish. Same thing goes with the barrel. Came out real good. This is after it's been sanded with 400 grit. So I laid a single pass of Durafil down and then sanded it with 400. It is prepped and ready for the final coating now. I'm going to attempt to go with a gloss black on this, but that's neither here nor there. I'll show you guys once it's done. Once I get the black on it, you'll see some of the, you know, I don't want to say imperfections, but some of the differences here will kind of go away once the final coating's on. You won't notice it because it's actually a pretty slick and flat, smooth surface. So that's that, guys. If you want to do some slight repairs, you have some rust pitting or some other scratches, deep gouges kind of in your guns that you want to repair, Durafil is a great product for that. Relatively inexpensive, easy to use, and that's about it. So I'll give you a couple close-ups of this, and then when it's done, I'll just do a couple sweeps with the camera to show you what that looks like. And the last part. You can see this is the receiver. I kind of got it lined up in the towel I brought it in with, but you cannot see the repairs. So this is really just to give you guys an idea of what that Durafil looks like once you kind of sand it down and get the coating on it. This is a semi-gloss black from Duracoat. Nothing really special, but I'll get some close-ups for you guys. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.